Hey, I'm Clayton Strems, and today's the day to make our very first custom tumblers. So as we get started, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and hit that little bell so you get notified every time we have another amazing video like this one. So I didn't watch any videos. I didn't really look at anything. I didn't read any tutorials. And that's probably one reason I really messed these up. I thought it would be a lot easier than it really was. Let me show you the process that I did, and at the end, I'll tell you what I think I did wrong. So before we talk about supplies, let's talk about our products. So if you didn't know, download the Walmart app. Anytime you're in Walmart, just scan random things and see what's on sale in your store. For me, this 20-ounce tumbler was like $2.78. And this mug right here, which is really cool because it's made, I guess, for hiking. You can clip it onto a backpack, use it for coffee, wine, whiskey, whatever. They're normally $5 and I picked them up for $1 a piece. So download the Walmart app. I like to save money. Speaking of saving money, I ended up buying 2 of these spinnets because one, it was buy one, get one 50% off over at Michael's. So if you want to see a review on this, my final thoughts on it, watch that video. We'll link it below for you. So as far as what we're doing with our mugs, our tumblers, first we're going to paint them. So we got spray paint because that's going to be easy. I'm trying to make this real easy for my first time because I don't know how it's going to turn out. And then I've got my vinyl, so we'll paint it, we'll throw our vinyl designs on it, and then we have a crystal resin, which it looked pretty on the back. So I got that one. It seemed good enough.
Oh, hey there. So, step 1, paint your cups. Make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area.
Now we let them dry. Now that our cups are dry, let's use our Cricut to turn this into this. So now it's time to put our design onto the cups. Now, I've ran out of transfer tape, so we are going to use some painter's tape. And we're going to make this pretty simple. Just throw it across. Now, I highly suggest using transfer tape if you have it. I just don't have time. I need to get these cups done. Transfer tape is going to make it to where when you go to put them on your cup, it's going to be a lot easier to see if you're in the right spot or not. So let's start with this one. See, it's nice and purple. And we're going to try to find the center. I'm going to mark it where I want it on the back side. So I want it on the opposite side of this logo. Boom. Here's our design. So, as careful as we can, this probably is not going to be centered just because I don't have transfer tape, but we'll get pretty close. So now that I have it on my cup, I'm going to just come down the middle, push that down, and then I'm going to work my way out. Make sure I don't get any bubbles. So now we're going to slowly peel off our painter's tape. Should be transfer. Simple as that. So I have 2 designs for this one, which I'm not sure how he holds his coffee mug. I know I hold my coffee mug with my left hand most of the time, so it drives me crazy when I have the wrong thing on the wrong side. But I think he wants the back side to be this. So I should have asked him. But let's do it the way I hold my coffee mug. So we're going to throw this one on this side. Same concept. We're going to look for our center, kind of place it down, run through our center. This is a bigger design, so I really want to take my time here, make sure I'm not getting any bubbles whatsoever. So now we're ready for our epoxy. All right, now that our design is on, it's time to throw on the epoxy. So because of these spinnets, I'm lucky enough to have one of these power bank charging systems so I could plug in 5 at one time. So let's put that to the side, and here we go. Let's mix our epoxy. So Honestly, again, this is the first time I'm ever doing this, so I'm going to guess that we need like 30 milliliters total for both of these. So the instructions state that I need 2 for 1. And this is the resin, that's the hardener. So if we gotta make more, we'll make more. So now that it's all mixed up, the instructions say to let it sit for about 5 minutes, let all the bubbles come to the top. So while we wait on that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some newspaper so I don't ruin my amazing crafting table. So one thing I'm actually really worried about, and I don't think I've talked about it yet, is on this mug, there's no way to remove this handle. So I am a little worried that as this spins, some of the resin's gonna kind of build up, but there's not much I could do. I can't remove the handle. So crossing my fingers, hoping for the best. Our resin's been sitting for about 5 minutes. So to apply it, I know I've talked to people and they use their finger. I don't know if I want to use my finger. I do have a glove, so maybe we'll end up with that, but I'm going to try using this sponge, and it's only about 1 inch long. So we'll kick on our spinners and apply a light coat of our resin to both of our mugs. I don't know, the sponge is annoying me, so we're gonna go with the finger method and see how this works. I don't like this glove, but it worked. It came with it. Alright, it looks like this one is good. Let's move on to the one that I'm terrified about doing. And I kind of like the combination. Use my finger to kind of apply it and then use the sponge to kind of even it out a little bit more. Especially because these gloves, I don't know, keeps catching and pushing too much away in certain spots. So while washing these cups, when I thought I was done with the epoxy, this one was doing great, and I put more epoxy on this one than I did on this one. And on this one, I was starting to have these like splotchy spots all over the place. So I added more epoxy on it, and it got rid of that issue, at least so it seems so far. So when it's all said and done, honestly, the next cup I make, I'll probably get tighter fitting gloves, kind of like you see at a doctor's office, and I won't bother with this sponge. I didn't like this. I like the finger method a lot more. So the epoxy is applied. Let's let it sit for a couple of hours and wait till it's dry. So here we are, the end, and our cups are horrible. So I went online. What happened? What did I do wrong? And I couldn't really find anything. And all the instructions were all over the place. So I'm not sure what it was. So I went to the good old Facebook and I started asking, why? Why did this happen? Here's the paint I used. Here's, my process. And it was funny because it's amazing how many people think they know what they're doing, but they don't. Now, granted, obviously, I don't have a clue. But they were saying, one person would say, oh, you used too much heat. I didn't use any heat. Somebody said, oh, your room is too hot. I'm like, okay, so maybe it was an issue with the room temperature. But then I started having people commenting saying, oh, it was too cold. I have that happen every time it's too cold in the room I'm doing it in. So those are literally completely opposites of the spectrum. The most consistent thing I had was fingerprints. So I get it, I understand it, the oils from your skins and whatnot, or heck, my beard oil. But to me, that doesn't really make sense either, because if you look at the decals I put on, it's probably a little hard to see, but the epoxy on there is honestly, it's on there perfectly on the decals. And I touched the decals a lot. I didn't prep them, I didn't clean them, so maybe it is a difference there. Maybe those decals didn't hold any oils. We're really not 100% sure. So what I'm going to try to do in another episode is we are going to attempt to sand these down and fix them, save their lives. So be on the lookout for that one, and let me know what you think I messed up in the comments below. I'll see you next time.